Hi folks, Sandro here with Cartoon News and Shenanigans, and today we are in the shenanigans zone, folks. We're in the shenanigans zone. We've got one doozy of an article for you guys today. We're here on Bounding Into Comics, and it's just Twitter people going crazy, having weird theories, and just being utterly insane. I do not have a Twitter account. I think Twitter is just an echo chamber with a lot of mental illness going on over there, and they are just pretty crazy, I gotta say. And it's not just Twitter. It's like, I feel like Twitter has some of the worst, but even sites like Facebook. I used to have a Facebook. I used to play Farmville back in the day, and I was like, nah, I just ended my Facebook and never looked back. And yeah, so I'm not a big social media guy. I do use Discord to talk to you guys and what have you, and YouTube is technically sort of a social media platform, but no, I try to stay off that stuff just to get away from psychos like these people. We're going to take a look at what's going on here. So animation fans unhappy. By the way, I love this Lola Bunny shot. Pretty awesome. Animation fans unhappy with recent cancellations accuse Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav of being a racist Trump supporter and call for his firing. You could just read that title and be like, these people are crazy, you know? Let's read some tweets. So yeah, by the way, if you need a quick recap here, Warner had like $50 billion with a B, in debt. They had to start paying that off. So they brought in this guy, David Zaslav, and David Zaslav was like, guys, I'm coming in here. I think he said he wanted to get rid of $3 billion worth of debt by 2024. Right? And we're only in 2022. So this man, he has a lot of chopping to do. I call it the choppening, right? We've been losing a lot of shows. Some of them are like notably gone, like Young Justice. It doesn't seem like it's going to be coming back anytime soon. And then there's other shows like Cape Crusader, which we thought it was canceled, but no, it turns out it's not going to be going to HBO Max. It's being shopped around. It could go to Netflix. It could go to Hulu. I think it'll end up on Hulu or something like that. But yeah, it hasn't been good for the animation scene right now. And luckily, Cartoon Network has been stepping in. Certain shows like Victor and Valentino, I did a video yesterday. Victor Valentino Season 3 and Summer Camp Island Season 6, they actually are being saved by Cartoon Network. And we are going to get to see the finales for those shows, which we thought like just a few days ago, that was it. They were removed and we were never going to see them. No, we are going to see them now, so that's cool. But unfortunately, we are in the choppening phase, and more things could get, canceled and never return. HBO Max cancels Ellen DeGeneres' woke animated series aimed at preschoolers. I actually talked about that, and I'm pretty happy it got canceled. I do not like Ellen. There was even those allegations that, a bunch of people were like, she's a bitch to work with. I don't even know, how did she get her own preschool series? Like, holy shit. I guess a lot of people are just out of ideas these days. Let's just make celebrity cartoons. Why not? Yeah, they'll never get into any kind of controversies or scandals. But yes, of course she did. And, I think it was the right move to cancel that show. I don't think there was a single person that was like, yes, Ellen, my favorite show for preschoolers. What was it called? Little Ellen, sorry, yeah. Yes, Little Ellen, my favorite show ever. I'm so sad to see this one go, No, nobody cared about Little Ellen, but it does suck that, shows are getting canceled, especially in the animation scene. And the Gumball movie, speaking of this, the Gumball movie actually, we thought it was canceled, but these now shelved HBO works. They're not shelved. They're being shopped around. They're just not going to go to HBO Max. I did a video on this. They're not shelved. They're not canceled. They're being pushed out to other platforms. Like I said, Hulu, what was it? Netflix, these kinds of, more adult ones where things could go. It's not going to Disney Plus. There's no shot. But if it would go somewhere, it'd probably be Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I don't know what even is. I have no idea. Does anybody have Peacock? What is on the Peacock? I have no clue. It could go to Peacock. I highly doubt it though. But yeah, there's a couple. I think the most notable, it probably would go to Hulu, right? Like I think that has to be the pick. But yeah, so these shows are not canceled. These movies and shows. And I was personally pretty excited for The Amazing World of Gumball, the movie, because the creator came out. I did a video on this. Creator came out and said it's going to have never before seen techniques. He used brand new animation techniques that no one's ever done before. I theorized as a joke that, you know how there's hand-drawn animation? I theorized that they got a bunch of people who could draw with their feet, and they used feet or foot-drawn animation. Because that's something no one's ever done, I don't think. So yeah, I was trying to theorize, like, what does a new animation technique even look like? So I want to hear your thoughts down below, or just go watch that video and tell me more of your thoughts on it. But yeah, so that happened. This is Batman the Brave and the Bold. I love this show. This was a great show. I was very sad when this one got canceled. Absolutely. I can't believe they actually made Batmite, of all the characters, the garbage ass character of Batmite. They actually made him into a very likable character. So there's that. And here we start getting into these crazy, crazy people. I'm not going to read the article. It's basically just regurgitating what these psychos have said. This person here is Sardo Numpspa for Biden. So there you go. This is the kind of person you're dealing with. They're just for Biden. CNN CEO David Zaslav, 2017. So he said that David Zaslav, the guy who's chopping everything, said this years ago in 2017. He says, Trump, some of his business policies could really be helpful to America. And I think that the idea of having a Republican Congress, Republican Senate, a Republican president is a good thing because now they're going to get some things done. And there's nothing wrong with saying this. You know, literally here in Canada, I'm not American, right? Some of the things mentioned here are very, very American. But it's the same thing applies here in Canada, right? Like, whenever one side, the left, usually they go crazy and overspend, and then we need to bring in, the conservatives or the right-wing parties to, fix shit up. So I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with what he's saying here, and vice versa. It's kind of like a pendulum swing, right? So there's here in Canada, I think we've only ever voted for two parties, the left and the right. It's like the conservatives and the liberals, or the liberals are the left one, and the conservatives are the more right-wing one. And it's like whenever one of them does something really stupid, then the other one comes in and they do something stupid, and it just goes back and forth, teeter-totter. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with what Mr. Zaslav said here. And this was just a quote. He's just quoting him, like trying to, stir up some drama here. And then you keep going down, and it's like, this person says Tory the anti-capitalist. So there again, you know what kind of person it is. You absolutely know with a title like that. This may sound tinfoil hat-ish, and it is. But David Zaslav is known to be a Trump supporter, right? Now that he's CEO of HBO Max, DC, CNN, and others, he managed to cancel Batgirl, remove Infinity Train, and other inclusive animations from HBO Max, cancel reliable sources from CNN. And then the person says again, and now David Zaslav is taking away over 200 episodes of Sesame Street, one of the most progressive public programs on TV ever. Very interesting. It's almost as if there's an agenda to remove diverse and inclusive programming to further the conservative regime. This is a psychopath right here, Tory, the anti-capitalist, utterly a nutcase. And what do you mean? He's cutting shows that were too costly. Like, how do you not understand this? They literally hired him to cut garbage that was too costly to keep. And also, they're not paying people royalties, which is not cool. That's not a cool thing. But they say, like, they're removing the most diverse show. They literally cut, like, 50 things. Like, I have no idea. I think this person here is just nitpicking a few. There was literally shows across the board that got cut. Some of them were diverse, some of them weren't. It doesn't, honestly, a lot of these shows, the problem is like almost all the shows these days are just woke trash. So of course there's going to be an abundance of garbage that's being cut here. But like, what about like Victor and Valentino? That one got saved by Cartoon Network. It's a show entirely about like Mexican characters. It's not gone. It's still there. It's getting its ending. So I don't know what this person's complaining about. Just a crazy nut job. And here she goes again. You know what Nazi? literally a crazy person. Literally a crazy. You know what Nazis did when they took over? They stifled art programs, took over sports sectors. We're here in the West. What the? Like, this is unbelievably nutty. You know what Nazis did when they took over? They stifled art programs, took over sports sectors, blocked any anti-Nazi entertainment programming. Very interesting indeed. So she's literally saying that David Zaslav is comparable to a Nazi because he's literally doing his job and cutting shows that need to be cut so that they can stay afloat as a business. Literally a mentally ill woman. Let's see what else we got here. In case people aren't aware, Zaslav is not only a Trump supporter, but has disproportionately canceled shows by women and POC. But here's the problem. Most of the these people just aren't paying attention to the shows that are coming out. Most of them are woke garbage anyways. So it's like they have an abundance of garbage. Like, can you name shows that weren't? Name shows that weren't, though, right? Like, Young Justice had just a mix of characters from all different races, and like every one of these shows nowadays are just like a diversity shithole, and these people are literally complaining. Like, what were the shows that like disproportionately didn't get shopped, right? It's just silly. These people are just being silly. The shows that were cut because of royalty. I did multiple articles on these. Literally, they're doing tax write-offs, and they're doing they're just canceling stuff so they don't have to pay out royalties, folks. There's nothing sinister going on here. He has hired 6 old white men in the top executive positions upon entering the company, maybe because they were the best people for the job, unlike these days where they're just literally hiring people based on their skin color instead of what they actually bring to the table. Not only are his decisions terrible, they are made in bad faith. That's according to your opinion, of course. Here we go. Trump's Sparks fiend. Trump supporter, Clint Eastwood wannabe, and all-around terrible person. David Zaslav has single-handedly destroyed the animation legacy that Warner Bros. Spent almost 100 years creating. Shareholders should be terrified. And there you go. Hashtag fire David Zaslav. So, it is a large legacy. And here's the problem. They're $50 billion in debt. If they don't do something, there won't be a 200-year legacy because they'll go bankrupt. So, like, these people don't understand. They don't understand simple business, I feel like, They don't understand that if they don't make savings now, there won't be a tomorrow. There won't be animations in the future. So a MAGAT, that's like MAGA, right? A MAGA, like Make American Great Again. Took over and destroyed a beloved network. Can we please stop watching them destroy stuff and so something about it yet? Wait, what? Can we please stop watching them destroy stuff and so something? I think it meant and do something about it yet. Yeah, there's a little grammar error there. And it's interesting. This person says they're destroying stuff, which is, in my opinion, I think the left, on the other hand, is actually destroying all these shows. They're getting, almost every show nowadays is just garbage woke nonsense. Like, for real. They're literally replacing characters, every week. Blackwashing them, what do they do? What are they calling it? Ginger side, right? They're getting rid of all the ginger characters like Jimmy Olsen and what have you. Even Annie, that's not even an animated character, right? The movie Annie, they replaced her with a black girl. They replaced Jimmy Olsen multiple times. Even in Supergirl, Jimmy Olsen got replaced by a black guy, and they're just doing a whole absolute ginger side here is what they're calling it, on ginger characters in media and replacing them with black characters, just because they aren't creative enough to make new original black characters, So it's very sad. And we got more. Wait, how long does this article go? Holy shit. Okay, I heard this ham-fisted butcher was up his own ass, but also a Trump humper. No fucking wonder he's so stunningly inept. The machine gun fuck-ups are loud as fuck. Yeah, not much to say on this one. It's just people going crazy, even years after Trump isn't in office. Still going crazy. It's called Trump derangement syndrome, right? These people are just nuts, man. These people, and again, this is why I don't go on Twitter. This is the mental illness that you'll find. I think it's really important that we know David Zaslav, the guy responsible for HBO Max downfall. How HBO Max's downfall, they wouldn't have to bring in David Zaslav if the company was profitable to begin with. Are these people stupid? I think they are. So apparently it's David Zaslav's fault that HBO Max is now facing $50 billion in debt, and removing all traces of cartoons we love is a Trump supporter who brought out Warner Bros. With ulterior motives. David Zaslav did not buy out Warner Bros. What is this person talking about? Warner Bros. Merged with Discovery. It's now called Warner Bros. Discovery. I have no idea what this I mean, her name is Miss MySpace. I think she's been in the game long time, and a few screws have gone loose since the MySpace days. We got another one here trying to be on the more positive side of things, but this is abject. It sets a very scary precedent. That's right. That right-wing Trump Kool-Aid drinking CEOs, yes, Zaslav is a Trump supporter, can lay off an entire crew and cancel projects that champion diversity to own the libs. And he's cutting these projects. These people just don't understand. Like, all the projects these days are woke trash. Like, no matter which one you cut, there would be something in there, right? It's like even Infinity Trade, it's like it starts out like pretty simple, and then it's like you could just make the case that every show, and it starts out with a female protagonist. So if they cut that one, it's like, oh, you cut a show, even though it was a white girl, Tulip, you cut a show that was featuring a female cast member as the star. No matter what show gets cut, they'll find a nonsensical way to spin it here. Is what I'm seeing. There you go. Warner Bros. Discovery has canceled Driftwood. Now this, I actually reported on this. This was kind of sad. It was a new original movie, and it could still happen, but you never know, right? You never know. It could still be shopped around to something like Hulu, and produced by Cartoon Network Studios for HBO Max. Yeah, it was this show with the rabbit, some kind of space, big space adventure movie, and that is a shame there. Here we go. Here's another one. Oh boy, Alex Tooney, part-time VTuber, full-time e-goober. If you ever feel useless, remember these. There are people who are actively kissing the ground David Zaslav walks on just because he's anti-woke. Okay. Where are these people? If they don't really name any though. If that's all it takes for a money-hungry Hollywood elite to win your admiration, you are a sad little strange man. Hashtag leave HBO Max. They can't leave HBO Max alone. They have to cut shit so they can save billions of dollars and not go bankrupt. These people literally don't read. They don't read. They don't listen to the news. They're just crazy. For those who say when you go woke, you go broke. I say that, by the way. I am a person who says that. This is what going broke actually looks like. A Trump-supporting CEO targeting women and POC helmed projects for cancellation in the name of cutting costs. Well, that's what you get. When you produce garbage, the shows are going to get cut. Like, what does this person say? You literally made garbage that wasn't keeping HBO Max, profitable. If HBO Max was profitable, you wouldn't need to bring in David Zaslav to cut things. So essentially the go woke, go broke situation really applies here. And they're saying that this is what it looks like. Yeah, this is what it looks like. If you make garbage, expect it to get chopped. What we know about David Zaslav, he's an evil, racist white man, according to this crazy person, of course, who doesn't care about diversity, greedy corporate money man who only cares about money. And again, they hired him to save the business. Like, what do you expect him to do? Not cut things? Trying to make Warner Bros. Be more reality. Avoiding taxes and abusing them. They're not necessarily avoiding taxes. They're cutting certain shows to get tax breaks, right? They're writing things off. They're not necessarily avoiding taxes. That's just incorrect here. Sick man in general. Again, this is this person's take, even though they don't really know anything about him. They're just spewing some garbage, and that's where it ends. We got bounding into comic. They sure did pick some of these really, really crazy people here, and I stand by my decision that this is a good thing. I think we needed to cut a lot of this, cut the fat here, trim the fat, And eventually, when they're profitable, these people think that a lot of these shows are gone forever. When they're profitable, they might come back. They might reclaim some of those old shows and eventually put them back on HBO Max. Like, they don't know what they're talking about here. But David Zaslav is saving the business. They brought him in to cut things so they can not go bankrupt. And that's that. Like, there's nothing else to say here. Just a bunch of people who are misinformed and crazy and don't read or don't bother and don't care. So that's going to be that. Pretty wacky one here, folks. I think the wackiest one was that black woman who literally called him a Nazi just because he was cutting shows. And again, all of the show, like, can you name one show that wasn't like diverse? Like, all of the HBO Max shows these days are just diverse in some way or other, and a lot of times forced by, really forced in there. You can't name a show that just like doesn't have it nowadays. Like almost every single one on HBO Max that got cut. I guess you could argue the Looney Tunes are animals, but like that would be an example maybe. But and then you'll find out it's produced by like a woman or something, So it's like, it's really hard to nitpick something that like isn't quote unquote diverse. So these people are really just crying like babies over nothing. And that's going to be that. Again, pretty wild video here. I don't usually do videos like this, but I thought it was interesting for sure how certain people perceive certain things. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video. Please comment. Like, how crazy are these people? Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how crazy they are. And please subscribe. And why not watch an ad for your boy Sandro? Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Bye-bye.